Hello everyone and welcome to the 15th annual Point of Light fundraiser with Lighthouse of Pinellas. I'm pleased to announce that we are broadcasting both in person and virtual from Saunders Social Club in Dunedin. I'd like to also thank the Feinstein Group for hosting us, and special thanks to St. Petersburg Distillery and Owens Craft Mixers and all donors and friends of Lighthouse of Pinellas. I'd like to also share that we are following as many COVID precautions as we can in light of the ongoing pandemic. Thank you all very much for joining us. It is a pleasure to be with you. My name is Jason Druding. I am the Director of Operations with Lighthouse of Pinellas and also delighted to be your MC for today's event. All guests, whether at home or here in person, are joining us for a 1-hour event, basically a happy hour, in which you can join us in the festivities. All guests can refer to a program, and a happy hour program, that has your recipe cards, a blindfold that allows you to join in a bit of the fun a bit later on. I'm now pleased to introduce you to Kim Church, our President and CEO, who is going to kick us off.
Welcome to our 15th annual Point of Light event. Due to COVID, we've had to change the format of this event. We will be, last year we provided a pre-recorded virtual event with no live interaction, but the 13 years prior to that, we held a very successful in-person event. We had speakers and lunch and a room full of supporters. This year we'll be hosting to a small, intimate group here at the Saunders Social Club and broadcasting live to a much larger virtual audience. In place of the speakers, we're going to be providing you an opportunity to experience a daily activity through the eyes of the visually impaired person. During these last couple of years, we've not only had to change the format of the event, we've also had to rethink how we serve our clients. As an essential business, our in-person instructional classrooms needed to transition to virtual classes. We learned quite a bit on how important our services are to our clients. We have captured a few client testimonies that we'll be sharing here today during our program. Judge Joseph Donahue, he was a former client, but he's a current board member. He lost his sight as a result of a surgical procedure in 1999, but he has been such an inspiration to many of our clients and our donors over the years. LaQuisha Pickett, she lost her vision in 2015 due to diabetic retinopathy and retina detachment. She is a vocational rehab client of ours since 2020, and she's currently enrolled in our assistive technology class, learning how to use specially designed software for the visually impaired to help them use a computer. Charles Berube, who you'll meet later, he lost his vision in 2013 due to macular degeneration. Charles was a former plumber and pipe fitter, and he is been working on some job placement opportunities. The programs here at the Lighthouse are actually designed to serve visually impaired of all ages, from babies to seniors. And we've been serving Pinellas County here for 65 years. Now I'd like to take a moment to thank a few of our top sponsors for today's event: Joan and Michael Klein, Guardian Trust, Dimmitt Automotive Group, sorry about that, Publix, Joseph and Tina Donahue, and Pinch a Penny and Raymond James Trust. So now we would like to start with our first client testimony for you, and that would be Judge Joseph Donahue. Thank you so much for joining us for our 2021 Point of Light, and we'll see you right back here after our video.
Sight is a precious gift that provides us with insights about the world, our family, our friends, and our co-workers. Sight is how we experience the world, how we communicate, how we love, how we define our role in the world. Of the 5 senses, it is the sense of sight that gives us our mooring, our sense of place, of belonging. It is this gift of sight that provides us with a glimpse of beauty, of happiness, of acceptance. We interpret the world around us through sight. Sight is our first responder to joy, sadness, success, failure, and love. Sight anchors our lives in our connectedness with others. But when that sense of sight is lost, when vision becomes obscured, when the world you know becomes dark and your independence, mobility, and self-confidence are lost, what happens next? What do you do? Where do you turn? What will happen to your family, your loved ones, your work? How do you regain independence and the ability to navigate in the world without sight? On January 11th, 1999, Circuit Judge Joseph Donahay's life changed forever. Prior to that day, he, like most of us, took sight for granted.
On January the 11th, 1999, I underwent lower back surgery at a local hospital. Well, they put me under anesthesia at 7:25 in the morning, and it was about 6:30 that night, something in that neighborhood, that I began to come out from under the anesthetic in the recovery room. And there was somebody leaning over me, a male, apparently, he was asking me questions. Did I know my name? Did I know where I was? And then he said to me, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And I said to him, "I don't see any fingers." And he put his hand right down. He actually touched the end of my nose. So I knew he had something in front of me. And he again asked me, how many fingers did he have up? And I told him I could not see any fingers. He must have backed away from the table where I was laying, and I heard him say to someone, "This guy says he can't see." My wife said to me one day, "Well, you know, we have to leave here pretty early tomorrow morning. We're supposed to be there at 9 o'clock. I said, "Beware." She said, "Well, I've made an appointment for you at Lighthouse of Pinellas." Here I was at Lighthouse of Pinellas for the blind and visually impaired. On January the 10th, 1999, if you had asked me, were there any blind people in Pinellas County, I would probably have shrugged my shoulders and said something like, "Well, I suppose there are, yeah, I guess." And had you followed with the question, well, what do blind people do? Where do they go? What do they do about their blindness? And here are people at Lighthouse of Pinellas that are going to teach me how to read in Braille. They're going to teach me how to operate a computer. They're going to teach me how pleadings, how cases, case law, things that I always did visually and did in writing, that I could do with a keyboard and with an earphone. Lighthouse of Pinellas taught me how to turn it on. I lost my sight on January the 11th, 1999. On October 10th, 1999, I went back to work full-time as a circuit judge to return to the bench and serve another 3 years as a blind circuit judge.
At Lighthouse of Pinellas, we have been serving the needs of blind and visually impaired individuals in Pinellas County for over 59 years. Our programs make it possible for individuals with vision loss to see hope, discover possibilities, and create solutions to independent, productive, and meaningful lives, gifts beyond measure. Your support will help ensure our mission to advance the independence and quality of life for individuals in Pinellas County who are blind or visually impaired continues now and well into the future. Lighthouse of Pinellas, we see things differently.
Wow, that video is a powerful example of the work that we do here at Lighthouse of Pinellas. Next, it's my esteemed pleasure to introduce you to our guest mixologist of the day, Brennan. And Brennan is going to demonstrate recipes featuring Banyan vodka, and virtual attendees are able to follow along utilizing the recipe cards that have been provided. Brennan, take it from here.
How's it going, everybody? I'm resident bartender here at Sonder. First cocktail I'm going to be making is called the Gulf Coast Mule. We'll be featuring 2 ounces of our Banyan Reserve vodka. And to add ice as a second step to our mule glass. pour straight over the crushed ice. Next, we're going to be featuring the Owens Craft Mixer with ginger beer and lime. Go ahead and top that off over your crushed ice. Add a little bit more to the top to ensure there's no extra dilution. Small mint sprig. Give it a slap to release the oils. Run it around the glass to increase the aroma. And add a fresh lime wheel. And you're ready to serve. Now, the second cocktail we'll be featuring is going to be called the Living Room Lemonade. This is also going to feature our Banyan Reserve vodka, starting out at 1.5 ounces, followed by 1 ounce of our blackberry shrub, 1/2 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice, and to balance out the tartness, we're going to be using a bar spoon of simple syrup. Add ice to both your tin and your glass. Give it a little shake. Go ahead and give that a pour over fresh ice. And a fresh blackberry and lemon for garnish. Enjoy.
And wow, Brendan, thanks very much. Those drinks look amazing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to drink them, though, because my boss is here and I'm still working.
Absolutely.
But for those of us in the studio audience, you're welcome to enjoy. For those at home, I hope that you found that drink to be easy to make and also easy on the palate. I also like to extend our esteemed thanks to all of our sponsors of the Point of Light. Without your assistance and without your help, Lighthouse of Pinellas could not exist, nor provide the very much needed services that we provide to the individuals in Pinellas County who are visually impaired. As we share a special message from our sponsors, we ask that you give from the heart. We ask that you will consider making a donation either via text by texting POL 2021 to 202-858-1233, utilizing the envelope in your program or the QR code that you can scan on your place card. All donations support the work of Lighthouse of Pinellas and the blind and visually impaired of Pinellas County. We'll see you right back here in a few minutes after this little sponsorship break. Welcome back, everyone. Along with some of our sponsors, we have a few very special guests here today. And it's my esteemed pleasure to introduce you to LaQuisha Pickett and her father, Greg. We caught up with LaQuisha at the Lighthouse, and while Brennan prepares to enter an unknown world of limited sight, here's what LaQuisha had to say about how the Lighthouse has positively affected her life.
My name is LaQuisha, and I am a client here at the Lighthouse for the Blind in Pinellas County. I first lost my vision back in 2014 due to diabetic retinopathy. 2014 was a really hard year for me because not only did I lose my vision, but I lost my kidney function. I found out I was stage 3 kidney failure, and I was also pregnant at the time, which is how I found out I was stage 3 kidney failure. So unfortunately, my son was stillborn. Things got a little harder. The kidney failure turned into full-blown total kidney failure. So I had no kidney function at one point. In 2017, after 2 years of dialysis, I received a kidney transplant. And after my kidney transplant, I was released from dialysis, and I started seeing a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. The Lighthouse means a lot to me because not only have they helped me be more of an independent individual being visually impaired, but they showed me that it's not that I can't do, it's just I have to do different. And that is so much confidence all on its own. When I did the independent living skills classes here, what I appreciated the most outside of the information that I was given was the safe place that Jessica gave to be open, honest, and kind of, it's not necessarily a therapy session, but a chance to vent. And you know, a lot of things, a lot of us walk around and we hold it in, but to be able to vent and talk about your frustrations and to know that you're not alone helps. Because even when your family is around and they're trying to be empathetic, they still have no idea what you're going through. But to be in a room with others that are just like you, and to be able to voice your frustrations and the way you're hurting, it helps. It really, really helps. I've been blessed with the opportunity to speak with Ms. Wanda Austin. So I speak with her on the weekly basis. And the techniques and the skills that she gives me to try to head off and kind of coping skills that she gives is helpful too. Even being certified mental health counselor, just being in the situation where I have to wake up and make a choice to have a good day and then use the techniques that Ms. Wanda Austin gives me to make sure that I have a good day. It's a intentional choice that I have to make every day. I am the director of a mentoring program for young girls called the Rubies that is funded through Mount Olive AME CDC. And just teaching girls how to take care of themselves and how to love themselves. And I enjoy it so much. And I want them to see me and see how that I'm able to do things. And just, despite of the things that I am unable to do. I'm very transparent to them about what I've been through and what I've struggled with. And now I'm here at the Lighthouse for the Blind in Pinellas. And they're teaching me how to use a computer using JAWS so that I can use a computer just like somebody with 20/20 vision. Because the Division of Blind Services are now paying for me to go to school. And I now attend St. Pete College, finishing my bachelor's degree in paralegal studies. Thank you for attending The Point of Light. ceremony. And I hope you enjoy your time. Lord knows that I am. And cheers.
That was beautiful. It is incredible to see such dedication in the face of adversity. And LaQuisha, I'm honored to know you and to serve you through Lighthouse of Pinellas. Again, it's our esteemed pleasure to have you and your father, Greg, with us today. And thank you very much for being here and sharing your story. Now, we're going to introduce a live demonstration of independent living skills, a class that's taught at Lighthouse of Pinellas by Lighthouse of Pinellas' independent living educator, Jessica Tomlinson.
Hello, everyone. My mission at Lighthouse of Pinellas is to help everyone live lives as independently as possible. And our challenge today is going to be to show Brennan, our resident mixologist, how to make a cocktail under blindfold using a few adaptive techniques. Now, you might see a little bit of awkwardness up here because this would be Brennan's first time doing a task in this manner. The more our clients attend training and attend classes and practice their skills, the more confidence and finesse and smoothness they acquire. There actually are professional blind food service people who serve in restaurants or cook or various things like that. I have not yet heard of a blind bartender, but we are going to write one into existence. So, what drink are we making and what is our first step?
So today is going to be the living room lemonade, which we'll make again, but with blindfolds. So already, as familiar as I am with this bar, just without my sight, I'm already bumping into things that seem so unfamiliar. We have some pre-portioned mixing glasses over here, so I'm going to scoot those closer in front of me, hopefully, so you guys can see. All right.
We also have placed ladle spoons in the glasses that are bent at a 90-degree angle. Normally, when a bartender would create a drink, they would pour into the jigger. However, so that we don't have to touch everything and put our finger in the glass as we would if we were pouring water for ourselves, we decided to do this in a bit more sanitary way and take measuring spoons that are already the right amount and have someone heat them up and bend them to 90 degrees so that way we can gently scoop out of the pre-portioned glass and put it right into our drink mix so that we can measure effectively without having to overpour.
Alrighty, so starting out with the first ingredient is our Bannon vodka. I'm going to grab, this is 1.5 ounce tablespoon. Next, we are going to do the blackberry shrub. This is a 1/2 ounce tablespoon, so we're going to do this twice. And hopefully putting that back in the correct spot.
Yes, very good so far.
Next to it, we have our fresh squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to work with a 1/2 ounce of that. Third glass, and the balancing act of 1 teaspoon of sugar.
It may help to move your glass a little bit closer, but it kind of looks like you've got it.
I'm just kind of walking around the bar trying to figure out where everything's at. So now that we have everything, I'm going to go ahead, ice
And then,
my shaker.
yeah, you've got it. You're doing very good at this. Yep.
And glass-ish, hopefully. All right, gonna go ahead and shake it. Big shaker. All right, now let's hope I can find a strainer.
So you want to make sure that your container that you're pouring from is touching the container that you're pouring into,
All right. And as close as possible.
right? Very good. And is that pre-measured to be the right amount so that it doesn't go over?
Yes.
Okay,
As long as
wonderful.
we measured everything correctly, it should come to the proper wash line,
Right.
which is just below the lip, so that way it doesn't overflow.
Perfect.
And last step is going to be our garnish of the fresh blackberry and lemon wheel.
Now, for those of you at home, if you're wanting to pour yourself a glass of water or a cocktail blindfolded, you may also find a device called a liquid level indicator beneficial. It has 2 prongs that hang inside the cup, and it's an electronic circuit, so it makes a buzzing and beeping when the glass is almost full, or yes, definitely, there we go. So everything is pre-measured in this case, thanks to Brennan. However, if you were just pouring yourself a glass of juice or glass of wine and you just wanted to stop when it was almost full, that would be a great adaptation. We also have recipes, recipe cards in Braille for people to read the recipe in Braille if they are able to do that.
All right, cool. How
All right.
fun was that? Definitely.
Thank you all very much.
Well, thanks very much, Brennan, for your sportsmanship and
Absolutely,
for
that
playing
was
along
fun.
with us here. And obviously, there were no bartenders hurt during the making of this video, so that is a success. It was great and a lot of fun. But I'd like to point out, of course, that the reality of low vision or sudden vision loss is all too real for the clients we serve at Lighthouse of Pinellas on a daily basis. And the goal of today's event was to bring to light basically an unthinkable event that could happen to all of you. I encourage you, donate, provide funding, help those within Pinellas County that can benefit from these very much needed services. And if you've been moved by this happy hour experience, please consider donating to any of our programs hosted by Lighthouse of Pinellas by texting POL 2021 to 202-858-1233 or go online and visit us at www.lhpfl.org. Your gifts will make a huge impact on the lives of the blind and visually impaired in Pinellas County. Now, before we go, we'd like to recognize yet another client of ours who is the embodiment of our work. Also, I'd like to extend an additional thanks to our event sponsors, virtual ticket holders, and the friends we made through this event, including all of you. It's my esteemed pleasure to introduce you to Charles Berube and his friend Hercules. Charles, thanks for joining us today. Always a pleasure.
Hello, I'm Charles Berube, a former client of Lighthouse of Pinellas. I'd like to take a few minutes and express some kind words of what Lighthouse of Pinellas has done for me. I started as a client about 5 years ago, came to the school for a short period of time, didn't think I was ready for what Lighthouse had to offer. I left the program. About a year later, trying to figure things out, I reached out again. I was welcomed back to Lighthouse. Jason Dunn grabbed the lead and basically guided me through where I needed to be at Lighthouse of Pinellas. I've taken numerous courses here. A lot of time was spent and devoted to me with the computer mandate part of the program with Brad Taylor. The man has the patience of a saint to get me to where I needed to be to pursue job interests. I've also taken other classes, Carly Kitzmeyer, O&M, where she prepared me for a more advanced level of stick training. Along the way, Carly also helped me, being instrumental with getting my guide dog, Hercules. I don't know how to say thank you enough for the training on this is with Jessica. I've taken some adaptive kitchen skills, some magnification, some lighting courses. All these courses have helped me get significantly down the road. Without Lighthouse, I feel like I would still be out there in limbo to some extent. Summing it up in a few words, Lighthouse gave me hope, has empowered me, and as far as I'm concerned, they're my dream team in this visually impaired world that I'm in. Thank you, and I appreciate the entire staff at Lighthouse of Pinellas. Thank you again.